How's it going, Virgos? Thank you so much for checking out my channel here at Reflexive Moon Tarot. My name is Sarah, and we are doing readings for the full moon in Virgo, happening, I think, on the 25th or something. Doesn't matter. Timeless readings. But we're channeling full moon in Virgo energy, which is very grounding. And considering that it's your sign, it's going to be extra powerful. So your senses might be heightened on some level, your analytical mind, your ability to pay attention to detail, and to practice restraint as well. Because when you think about the Hermit card, being in hermit mode is a form of restraint. It's restricting yourself from the connections that influence us in ways that we may not find or that we might not be open to. So that's why, you know, the strength is within isolation on some level. Now, toxicity is also involved with, heavily linked to isolation. So keep that in mind. We don't want hermit reverse energy. We want that strong and upright and very, very grounded. So let's see what's going on for the Virgos out there for the full moon happening in our sign. I'm not a Virgo sun, but I got like a stellium happening. There's lots of Virgo going on. It's, I feel like it keeps me sane. So I have an appreciation for that Virgo energy and anyone who's a Virgo. Now, this is you. This makes so much sense, this card coming through like this. Because this is about being grounded. This is about being healthy. This is about being prosperous. And, you know, you may not be responsible for a lot of things. For example, you might be somebody that doesn't have kids, but maybe you have a cute little pretty bird or a dog or a cat. And, you know, you're well enough and wealthy enough to take care of that responsibility. So it's just contentment. And, you know, it's not a generational level of wealth that you might be experiencing. And this could also be you wanting that, wanting to just level up so that you are more comfortable. But I feel like this is mostly just being in a spot where it's time to do some counting of the blessings. Because that is healthy. Gratitude is so significant when it comes to well-being. I think a lot of people don't pay attention to that. They just think it's all about being positive and having a good day and turning that frown upside down. But it is so heavily linked to giving thanks and being grateful for what it is that you've received already. And we have the Queen of Cups overlooking the situation, or crossing the situation. So this is an individual. This could be you. This could be you tapping into your intuition. The Queen of Cups is either like a Cancer or a Pisces or a Scorpio. Doesn't necessarily have to be the embodiment of having a vagina, but it certainly is about carrying that feminine energy and being able to honor that. So it's very important to know that either there's somebody out there that's going to come through for you and be very emotionally nurturing, or that you need to be that for yourself as well. And even manifest yourself to a point where you're able to emotionally be present to the needs of others. Which goes hand in hand with the Nine of Pentacles. Interestingly, overlooking the situation, the Devil's coming through. So we're shedding light on some things that could be seen as like vices, addictions, sort of things, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to be like consumption of drugs and alcohol. Alcohol is a drug, but this could be like some retail therapy. Might be, you might need to shed some light on that. If you are like oversexed in some type of way, that could be a thing for you. Or it could even be, you know, when you think about social isolation and cutting yourself off, like not sharing your gifts and like hoarding what it is that you have to offer the world. But there's something. The universe is telling you something you need to shed light on. Aspects of your shadow self, of your dark side, that you may have been really, I don't know, it really is about vices. I don't want to get all up in your business because it's not what I'm here for. But there's something, and I know you know what it is. All right, so we have death. It's going to come to an end for you. And the Queen of Wands. All right, so whatever it is, like it's messing with your confidence, either that or this is like jealousy. There's something that you are jealous of. You know, when you think about vices and addiction and bondage, codependency comes to mind as well. Have you involved yourself with somebody who cannot be present to your needs or who cannot meet your expectations because of how they are? And it triggers your jealousy because perhaps they are inclined to have inappropriately overly emotional relationships with others, or like just infidelity on some level. Are you hooked on somebody that's hooked on fucking around, basically? And what does that say about you? You know, what does that say about your level of confidence in who you are and what it is that you stand for? Now, monogamy is a tricky thing. If that is what your expectations are, good luck. It exists. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I feel like ethical non-monogamy is not a bad idea. Okay. Now that doesn't mean that like you can be open to the idea of ethical non-monogamy and still be in a monogamous relationship. You can be non-monogamous and still have monogamous relationships. The possibilities literally are endless when it comes to what people are capable of and how to have a healthy relationship. So there's some type of loss, though, I'm feeling. There is a loss that you've experienced, or just general loss. And it's changing you. It's changed you. There's something that has come to an end for you. And that just leaves so much room for new beginnings and new life. And it's a process, grieving. If you've broken up with somebody, or if you know that a relationship is about to dissolve, the idea of living without somebody that you thought was your forever person is devastating. So if that's you, I wish you all of the love and gentleness you have with yourself at this time, you can possibly have with yourself. And here we go. Everything that you need is a cup full of love. All you need is a cup full of love. Or maybe you just need to drink some water. Drink water and mind your business. Or just stay hydrated. Because unbothered and hydrated. Shout out to Mark Revier. I think that's funny. Love his music. All right. Unbothered, moisturized, and hydrated. So we are taking care of our epidermis And we are making sure that our H2O levels are adequate. We have the world. So your attitude is quite grounded and you have a very solid understanding of where you stand. Solid understanding of where you stand, of what your cycles are like, when times are hard for you. Perhaps you have, you've had a lot of support in your life. You've done a lot of work that is very centered in you maintaining a level of 100%. So you know your shit, you know yourself. Know thyself. Words to live by. And you have a solid understanding of the aspects of the self too. The elements that influence you, your relationship with the elements, your relationship with the ground that you walk on, whether you usually stay local and in one spot, or if you're a global citizen. Now, the way that others see you is that you've been around the block, you're holding down the fort, and you're protecting what it is that you've worked for, everything that you stand for. You're very, very protective of it. It is sacred for you. And, you've been through a lot. You have quite a few wounds, I would say. And, people have hurt you a lot even. And this has made you stronger, but it's made you stronger. It's made you wiser. It's a heavy load to carry though. When you move from the 9 to the 10, you're going to realize, or when others see that you're moving from the 9 to the 10, they're going to realize that, there's nothing else to do but repurpose a lot of the projects that you've worked on in your life, lay things down and don't go back to them, and make room for new. So others see that you need to make room in your life, or make space for yourself, or for like a new way of living. So there's going to be, I feel like the universe is telling you, and maybe, this idea of the way that others see you, you can also take that as an indicator that there's some things that you just need to let your guard down over. And that's okay. And maybe you will, maybe you won't. It's your choice. Okay. All right. Interestingly, Leo got this card as well. It could be a Leo that you're dealing with. But, or also not. It may not be any connection to that whatsoever. But fears and hopes even, okay? Hopes that you will not be in a lengthy period of despair. Fears about being in a period of despair on some level, where you're shut out, where you're injured, nobody's helping you, and it's hard times, either financially, you're just not able to meet your needs on some level. So you could have experienced that in your life at one point, and that you might be going back to that sort of primal fear of not being able to sustain yourself. And it might not be anything to do, we do have the 9 of Pentacles here. Let's not forget that. It may not have anything to do with financial despair. So counting your blessings and knowing that, that's something that you'll never have to know in your life. Either ever or again. What else? Healing. This could be being afraid of not being able to heal, or how long the healing process is going to take. It's like when you feel like despair is also feeling like you're never going to get over something, never going to get over loss, never going to get over grief. And in some cases, not to be pessimistic, sometimes that's true. Sometimes there are things that we go through in our lives that we never get over. They're sort of like always there, lurking in the background, waiting to creep up and remind us, hey, remember this shit fucked you up, you know? Remember me? I'm the one that fucked you over, kind of thing. So yes, that is real. Or, you know, remember how devastating this was for you. Remember this person is not here for you anymore. It could be anything. Just knowing that life will still go on and you still experience joy and privilege, and you're still able to be grateful and confident and full of like that raw love energy despite the trials and tribulations of life. Trauma is a thing that is so taxing. It can also be a blessing at the same time, because it doesn't define who you are as a person, but it certainly informs how you continue to live your life, and you're never going to be the same. And you can be grateful for that. It's like, it's not being grateful for having gone through something terrible. It's being grateful for the person that you are today who's been able to overcome it. That's strength right there. King of Cups. That's the epitome of self-love. Of that boss-like love mentality. Who knows how to... It's like a... I don't know, it's like a... I want to say fatherly, but I also don't, because I don't want to make this gender specific. It's just an authoritarian emotional state. Like, you're able to make space for yourself and for others to feel, and feel safe in feeling, right? This is not about nurturing people's emotions. This is about not interfering with people's emotions and letting them have their place to feel. You know, the Queen is very nurturing. It's like a soothing. So, you know, it's like, it is a form of interference on some level, because you're trying to pacify and soothe people and nurture them to connect with their emotions, right? There is an element of manipulation, whether it's positive or negative. It's usually seen as positive, as it's accepted as positive. With the King of Cups, this is just like, you do you. Let your eyes leak. There's tissues over there. You can clearly see that, but I'm not even going to point you in the direction to the tissues. This is you. This is me showing you that you're fully capable of taking care of yourself, right? So that is the essence of the King of Cups, and that person's going to come through for you. They're going to show you. They could be a water sign, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. But you know, if this is an interest, this is a love interest, if this is someone that's going to be here for you, just know that, you know, what may feel like unhealthy detachment is actually them just allowing you to process and do your thing. Can we clarify let's clarify the King here for Virgo, because I don't like to end with court cards. King of Swords came through. So this King of Cups is going to make you feel better about a King of Swords who is psychologically abusive towards you. Trying to hold you back, not allowing you to grow in ways that you know you're capable of. All right? So, what else is going on for Virgo? Work is going to be your saving grace. Your social networks or your work networks, connecting with others. Doing you in the best way that you can. So I would say making sure that work is not your vice, because that is not helpful, but it can certainly be a saving grace. Developing some new skills. I think you know, this person could have been like, no, you shouldn't do this or that. And maybe you're going to just think about the things that this person may have limited, the ways in which this person may have limited your growth and skill set, and go out there and get on that shit. Just not to spite them, but to like honor what you allowed to have shut down at one point. Okay? I can relate to that. This is me doing that right now. All right, Virgos, take it easy and we'll catch you next time.